meant that. So how different is it with Josh Gaddis?
Yeah, it's a lot different. Completely new offense, so got to start from square one again, learning all, the new names for concepts and all the new procedures we have on offense. So, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but I think guys are picking it up fast.
How different is it?
Biggest difference?
Mostly just the no huddle aspect of it, getting our formation in play from the sideline. It's a little different than last year, obviously. So, and then just different types of concepts and, more RPOs, stuff like that.
What's the reception been like in the locker room? Do you guys do you want to do something more like this?
I mean, yeah, we just want to get the ball more any way we can. So, Coach Gaddis has a great plan for us. He's done a great job installing all these new plays, and pretty excited to, keep getting more new stuff and just trying to perfect the ones that he's already given us.
Does it feel like more modern or up to date with some of the other programs around the country?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. A little more spread, kind of like, how Alabama and Penn State have been in the past. Yeah.
Harbaugh said the other day that the tight ends were one of the groups that really were a benefactor for the new offense. How is that? Like, what makes your group, stand out in this offense?
Yeah, I would just say just in the RPO world, we're always a threat to block and then, a threat to run a route. So it really puts linebackers and safeties in a bind that way, so they don't know whether, we're releasing on a route or, we're blocking someone. So kind of big plays come in that aspect of the game, for sure, for tight ends.
How do you see someone like Shea adapting to this? It seems like it's more in his wheelhouse, this kind of offense.
Yeah, I mean, Shea can do almost anything, but he seems pretty comfortable right now. He's looked really good in practice so far. A lot of the QBs have looked pretty good, so definitely exciting to see that.
How hard is it to grasp this playbook? I mean, Josh said he wants to have it installed by the end of spring. Has it been really easy to adapt to?
Yeah, I mean, being here 4 years, I've seen almost anything that can be thrown at you. So it's really you just got to study, learn all the signals, learn all the different names, and what you have to do on that job. And so it's a little bit, you got to go home and still study on your iPad, but it's just what you got to do.
You watching stuff like Mike Gesicki and some of the guys out in Alabama and thinking that that'll be your sort of role here moving forward? Yeah,
definitely. Watched a lot of film on Irv Smith from Alabama last year. He had a really great year, so just seeing him exceed there running the same offense, so definitely pretty excited to hopefully do something like that.
Jim said Ben Mason's sort of working everywhere, even some tight end. Has he worked much with you guys yet?
Yeah, he was practicing with us the other day. It's tough for him. He's trying to learn two new things at the same time. But, he's always going to give it his all, and he's a great player, so I know he's going to do good on either side of the ball.
Since he's been on the defensive line, I don't know if you've gone up against them yet in practice. What kind of player would you expect him to be, and is that kind of a terrifying prospect considering his...
I haven't gone up against him yet, but kind of like a more muscular Chase. I would kind of compare him that way. He'll get the hang of it. I don't think he's got it all down 100% yet, but hopefully by the end of spring, he'll have it down.
See him with the long blonde hair. That's pretty good.
Harbaugh mentioned Eric All as kind of being an early standout. What have you seen from him early?
Yeah, he's been great so far coming in. As an early enrollee, didn't know anything, and he's just out there making plays. So that's great to see. He's a little undersized right now, but I know he'll put some weight on and really be a contributor.
We didn't get to see Luke Schumacher or Mustafa Muhammad last year. They've been active so far, and how far along have they come since they arrived last year?
Yeah, they both made great progress in the weight room this winter. Both really strong, fast guys. So they've definitely made a lot of progress as well. I think we have a really deep tight end room, so I can see a lot of guys playing this year for sure.
From a personality standpoint, how does Coach Gaddis change practice and meetings and stuff?
He's really intense guy. He's not afraid to get up in your face and scream at you if you mess something up. So he's really holding the offense to a high standard, so we can be successful. So that's probably one of the biggest changes, I would say.
When you first saw his hashtag Speed and Space, what did you think? Did you think that what you're getting right now?
Yeah, definitely. For tight ends, he says big speed and space. So that's definitely cool to see. Obviously, everyone needs to be fast when you're running routes and stuff like that. And I think we got some pretty fast tight ends. So.
Has your workout plans with Herbert changed a little bit because of this offense and getting into a different kind of shape?
Yeah, I mean, this offseason, I didn't really focus on bulking up as much as I did kind of cutting fat, staying at 245, just getting, leaner, quicker, faster, and still getting stronger as well. So.
Your view of the offensive line, Jim mentioned them first the other day when he was talking about this offense with 4 guys back, starters back. Have you seen, I know it's hard for a couple practices, but have you seen some improvement? Are they picking up where they left off?
Yeah, definitely. Those 4 returning guys definitely have a lot of chemistry built up. They all work well together as a unit. And, Caesar leading them, making all the calls. So, they're all on the same page. And, Jalen and Stuber are doing a great job rotating on our right tackle right now. So, hopefully one of those guys will mix in with them and, match that chemistry.
You mentioned cutting weight. What are you right now?
245 right now, yeah.
You stayed at the same weight, though. Cut fat. No, cut muscle. No. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. I was up to 250 last season to start, I believe. Obviously you lose a little weight in the season. So I feel pretty good where I am right now.
When did you find out that Zach Gentry would be leaving for the draft?
He talked to me a lot throughout bowl camp and stuff like that, but he really was just trying to, focus on the bowl game. He wasn't, trying to make any decisions before that. But, I kind of knew before, but I couldn't say anything, obviously. But, I'm really happy for him. I hope he gets drafted high and has a good career in the NFL.
So much was last year you guys talked about coming off that season, and that was the focus in winter conditioning. Do you guys just forget about how the season ended last year and move on, or how much does that stick with you?
No, Coach Harbaugh gave us some shirts the other day with the Big East, champs on the front, and then all the scores of the games we lost on the back. So I took that shirt and hung it up in the tight end room with the scores. Just a reminder, how the season ended, and we don't want to do that again, obviously.
Does he want you wearing those shirts?
I've seen some guys wear them, but I just like looking at it in the meeting room, just a reminder, what we're grinding for, what we're working for, and that's beat Ohio State and win the Big Ten.
So you have it facing forward or facing back?
Facing back.
Have you heard, the kind of noise from the fan base and kind of the aftermath of that game? They still seem to be relatively loud, and just kind of the angst that comes with that loss in the end of November.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to listen to that. It's a little hard when you're younger. You got all these people yelling at you, like you don't really understand it. But now that stuff doesn't really matter to me at all. We just gotta focus on what we need to do to get better, and win those last games at the end of the season.
Gaddis said he has a great relationship with Harbaugh so far. Is that something that you've noticed specifically?
Yeah, definitely. They're very in sync in the offense, trying to accomplish the same goals. I think all the offensive coaches have done a great job, kind of taking what Coach Gaddis brings in from running the spread, and then adding a little bit of we run from last year, what we did good, into that offense as well. So I think the coaches have definitely done a good job mixing together and really putting us in position to do what we do well.
I'm surprised the amount of control or power he gave Gaddis to sort of shape the offense and make it different.
Yeah, definitely at first since I've been here. But I think it's a good decision because he's a really great coach and he knows what he's talking about. And Coach Harbaugh still has some input, of course. But I think they've done a really good job mixing together.
Is it starkly different than the past few years?
It's pretty different. Yeah. I'd say meetings practice are definitely pretty different from the past few years. Yeah.
Are you guys still doing the 4-hour practices too?
Yeah, today was a 4-hour one. But the first hour is mostly like a walkthrough stuff. So it's really, I guess, like 3 on the legs, running and stuff. So it's not too bad.
In what way is it most different? Sorry if I'm just making you repeat yourself.
I mean, just the intensity and the focus and in the details, I would say, and not allowing someone to slack off on a play, or everyone needs to be focused and on every play on what their job is, and everyone has to execute their job. So if you don't do that, Coach Gaddis is going to get in your face, or someone's going to get in your face, and I think that's what we need.
Are you happy to hear he's me coaching from the box now for the rest of the season?
Yeah.
Why was that needed? What need was there a kind of a fresh air needed in the offensive side of things?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Just something new, fresh, from different from the past. Because obviously, if something's not working, you got to change it. So, I mean, not to say our old offense didn't work, but didn't really do too well in our last 2 games. So.
When Wilton was here for Pro Day the other day, he said he was excited to see the handcuffs kind of come off of Shea and everything. Have you seen where that is beneficial? Does it feel kind of like the handcuffs are coming off of him?
Yeah, I think it's a little too early to tell, but Coach Gaddis always says he's going to call the plays that we're running well. So if we're running the ball, he's going to keep calling run plays. But if the RPO looks are there, then Shea can throw the ball all day long. So it really depends, what the defense is giving us, what we're doing well. And, if Shea and the receivers and tight ends are, passing the ball well and we're getting completions, then I think that's where, the direction will go.
Those last 2 games you mentioned, is that really when people felt like there was a need for a change?
I mean, I didn't realize it then. We were just focused on trying to do what the coaches were asking of us, trying to do our job, trying to, execute, and came up a little short, so.
Do you guys feel like you're dictating at all in the practice? And that's what Josh said, he wants to dictate to the defense. Usually your coaches say, we'll take what the defense gives us.
Yeah, I feel like we're definitely, trying to get the defense in certain looks that we want. And, obviously they play a lot of man coverage, a little bit of zone here and there. So, just calling plays that are good against that and, trying to get them in looks that aren't too good for them so we can succeed.